Wow, that was quite an introduction. I'm overwhelmed. Thank you very much, President Galvin. Thank you very much, everyone, our Vice Principal, Father Ryan, our Chair, our Counselor, Ms. Robertson, and of course, our Vice Principal, Board of Directors, students, good evening. Before I start, I wanted to say a few things. I almost showed up here with an Island Aloha shirt, and thank goodness for Mr. G over here telling me that we are supposed to wear a suit. So it took a while. I had to go on YouTube and figure out how to do this, but I think I got it right. And I'm looking at all these seniors over here, these graduates. Did you guys do your own ties? Or did your mom do it? Okay, I'm just going to notice my wife did it, and she's in the back, and she watched YouTube, and I'm very thankful for her. So anyway, so you know it's a special event if you have to wear a suit. Anyway, good evening. How you guys feeling? All right. I can call you graduates now, right? Yes. Not seniors. Okay. Correction. All right. Well, first of all, I'm so humbled and honored to be here speaking with you. What a great privilege it is tonight. This could be one of my greatest moments of all time. I told Mr. G that there's nothing that could top this, except for perhaps if this was an election year. That was a joke, okay? Oh my goodness, it's a tough crowd over here. Okay. But it is very meaningful to be back here. Of course, I have served as a PTO president. I served as a PTO member. But I'm also a proud alumni. I didn't graduate here, but I did go through here from 1st to 9th grade. And that was back in the 80s. That was probably before you were born. But I think some of your parents remember the 80s and what it was like. Your school has advanced tremendously, so you should be very thankful for that. I'll give you an example. Back in the 80s, we didn't have air cons. Is that correct? Yeah. I think we only had air cons in the library and the typing class, and I think that was about it. Oh, in the principal's office, I think, when we did call in, and the lab. So only a few. So it was a lot different back then. In fact, most of the things back then were in black and white, so it's a very different time. So, class, congratulations. You guys have earned your day here. I know you're all very proud. And as I speak to you, I would like to ask you all to stand. I'd like you to live this moment and let it soak in. Your hard work and countless hours of study has gotten you here today. This journey that took you has brought you here this evening was made possible by your hard work and determination. But there are a few others who also took this journey with you. At this point, I'd like to ask the parents, legal guardians, grandparents, brothers and sisters of our graduating class to please stand up. Please. Don't be ashamed. Stand up. Come on. You can look back. Make sure your parents and your siblings and grandparents are all standing. And I do always include grandparents because you know that grandparents are always included in their education, correct? Yes. Okay. This day could not have been possible without these people standing behind you. They have given so much of themselves to make this day possible. They've made tremendous sacrifices along the way. But they don't consider it sacrifices because they do it because they love you so very much. And their unconditional love and support. And also I have asked, please stand, almost. I also asked the siblings of the graduates to also stand. And why is that important? Well, I think the salutatorian, Peter Thomas Alonso mentioned his brother, right? And how much he's helped them out and everything. So it's important. You wouldn't be here without their siblings, so we also have to make sure we acknowledge them. Siblings are so very important. Your siblings are the ones who helped you with your studies, is that correct? Helped you with your chores, I see some yeses and some no's. Okay? Some of them have even given you some advice. And some of them may have told on you, and some of them may have kicked you down. But it was all for probably good reason. And I say this because I have two older sisters, and I've had my share of lickings, and they've always kept me in line. So siblings, what we do without them. Congratulations to our parents, our grandparents, our legal guardians, and our siblings. You guys take a look at them and give them a big round of applause. But this is not of anyone. There are other people in your extended family as well. I'd like to also ask at this point the Mount Carmel School Board of Directors to stand up, please. Thank you. Our president, our administrators, our chair, please stand. Now, where are our teachers? Are our teachers here? Teachers, Mount Carmel, please stand up. Our faculty, our staff, everyone who's contributed so much. I also ask that the PTO stand up at this point as well. The PTO, the Parent Teacher Organization, officers and members. If you really think about it, these people right here that stand before you, this school would not be what it is today without them. They are the glue that holds this school together. These are the people who work those long extra hours for you, not because they have to, but because they want to. Because of their sheer dedication, not just to education, but to the school itself, Mount Carmel School. You have a very dedicated group of administrators, a board, of faculty and staff. Everyone here has done so much for you. And I know how much you love them, right? I want you all to know you've challenged them and helped mold them into independent thinkers and have given them everything that they needed in life to succeed. For that, you have been your counselors, you have been their custodians, their teachers, their mentors, and also their friends. So for that, can we give the Mount Carmel team a big round of applause? They say it takes a village to raise a child. I say it takes a caring family to educate a child. And never forget that. That is what's most important, is our extended family. And everyone here tonight is your extended family. You really think about it, one of the most important words in our culture is what? Did somebody say barbarism? No. Familia. Familia is one of the most important words. And you guys live and breathe it. Congratulations for that. So, as I was going to write this keynote speech, I talked to Mr. G about what I can write about. And one of the things that I've heard a lot of past speakers talk about is success and how they've been successful. But it's interesting. We focus so much on success, and not often enough, we don't talk enough about happiness. And that is so important. So I went to Mr. G, and I said, I don't call him Mr. G. I said, G-Funk? I said, President, what do you think if I talk to your seniors about happiness? And he said, wow, what a coincidence. I did a senior seminar on happiness. And I believe you guys wrote some really excellent papers. Is that correct? Yes. Well, he shared with me some excerpts from it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to read a few. And I want you to recognize and see if you know who this person is. There's a few of them that are very moving and inspiring. And again, these come from you. These are your words that you shared with me. One of them from this class, this graduating class, was, I want to have a purpose in everything I do. Success does not lead to happiness. Happiness leads to success. I plan to live for what I can do for humanity, not for what I can do just for myself. Anybody know who that is? Anybody want to know? Okay. Okay, well, No names then, okay. But that was beautiful and inspirational. I have learned, here's another one. I have learned to prioritize God above everything else, and it is God that gets me through my difficulties. My happiness stems from God. And this is so important because one of the things that we learn at Mount Carmel, which we can't learn in other schools, is religion and our spirituality. One of the reasons why we have a lot of our students here is for spiritual growth. And for that, I think that was really important and very inspirational. So I thank you for that. Faith is so important in our lives. And this student nailed it right on the head. So I was very impressed and inspired. Here's another one. To achieve happiness, I will focus on 3 things. Enjoy what I have right now. Do kind things for others. Change the way I feel about things. This student quotes, as Wanda Washington once said, I have learned that the greater part of our misery or unhappiness is determined not by our circumstances, but by our disposition. In other words, the student is saying, change the way you feel about something. That was really impressive. Now, as I'm saying this, I know you know that you wrote this, so you can inspire it from the way back if you want. It's okay to take credit for it. These are inspirational quotes that come from your peers, or your children, or grandchildren, or brothers and sisters. These are not just very intelligent minds, but very independent thinkers. And it is so impressive to read some of these things that Calvin shared with me. But I will tell you this. I told Calvin that one of the reasons why I was a little bit nervous and apprehensive about being a keynote speaker was because I was going to be speaking in front of some very intelligent students, but also some very incredible orators. And one of them is none other than Maria Faye. Now I'll tell you, you're valedictorian. She is an incredible speaker, and I had the good fortune of hearing her speak for the very first time. I just happened to be having a meeting with Mr. G, and he said, hey, I have a student that's going to prepare for the Attorney General's Cup. Would you like to sit in? And I said, sure, I'd love to. So I sat in the office, and it was me and Mr. G and his beautiful wife, Velma, and so we sat and I said, sure, I'll listen to this. And I sat down. And Maria Faye began to read her speech. Not just read it, but live it, speak it, and it came from the heart. And I will tell you right now, it's rare that I get emotional or cry when I hear a speech. But towards the very end of her speech, y'all looked over me and he saw me. And I got very moved and very emotional. I think one of the things that is most important is that she didn't just use words. She used personal things that really meant a lot. And it was very convincing and very moving. And I was so certain that she would win the Attorney General's Cup. Now, she may have placed, don't make me cry now because I'm going to look up here. She may have placed second place, but everybody that competed in the Attorney General's Cup was a winner. They all did incredible. We watched every speech. And everyone in the room was so inspired by every single person that spoke. In particular, I was very moved by her. She's a very brave person, as you all are. And that's what I was talking about earlier. You are independent thinkers. And you speak from the heart, you speak with conviction, and that is what's going to guide you in your life. Doing the right thing. You may hear it so many times, and you may hear it in the future. But doing the right thing is never easy. Saying the right thing is never easy. Sometimes it's very hard, especially when it's an unpopular thing to say. But if you follow your heart and your convictions, you will never go wrong. Incidentally, I do happen to check Facebook once in a while, maybe once or twice a week. Anybody on Facebook knows that's not true. But one of the things that I posted and I asked about was about happiness. And I sent this out, I posted it yesterday, and I got 46 responses, both public and private, so people that didn't want to say they sent me private messages. The first question I asked is, what makes you happy? Out of 46 respondents, do you know what the number one answer was? What makes you happy? What is the number one answer? What do you think? Somebody said money? No. Family, friends, spending time with family and friends. You know how beautiful that is to hear that? It wasn't about money, it wasn't about fame, it wasn't about anything. It was about spending as much time as I can with family, friends, our parents and grandparents, our brothers and sisters. Again, came back to family. And that is here in our islands. And it doesn't matter what nationality you are. Look at this graduating class here tonight. We don't only have Chamorros or Falash or Koreans. We have so many different nationalities here tonight. And yet they get along so well. In fact, I wish we at the legislature could get along as well as you do. That's the truth. If my colleagues are here, can I get an amen? All right, thank you, Representative Edward Gomez. That was like a golf clap. The second question I asked was, can money buy you happiness? The answer was a resounding no. Not one person thought that money can buy happiness, yet we hear it all the time. We see it on TV. Don't we? Everything that we see, buy this, buy that, you're going to be happy. Those things in life are the small things that may make you happy temporarily. But will it make you happy permanently? Probably not. And these people that responded to this said the resounding no. And the last thing I asked was, if you could choose between being very healthy or very rich, which would you choose? Every single person that responded to this said, I'd rather be very healthy. Because money cannot buy health. Money can make you look good. Money can sometimes make you feel good, but it's temporary, oftentimes. So when I speak about success, I don't often talk too much about material things. I don't talk about fame or fortune. Because to us, success isn't about that. And that's the truth. I see success as loving others and treating others with a level of respect that they deserve. Success is not found in the number of friends that you have, but in the quality of friends that you keep. And when it comes to friends and friendship, know that real friends will never judge you by the size of your bank account, but by the goodness in your heart. It is your heart, your humility, your hard work, and your general disposition that will measure your success in this life. Before I leave you with this, because I don't like long speeches, and I know you are ready to go party and have a great evening tonight with the family, I want to say this, that, when I entered public office, it was a big decision for me to make. And I will tell you right now, I wasn't sure if I wanted to make it. And I talked with my wife, my beautiful wife, who is in the back, Casey, and I talked with my children about it. And we talked about it, and we were listening. And we talked for quite a while about it. And for the first time, my wife said, yes, run. In the past, she's always said no. But she said, and I was going to tell her, look, there's going to be a lot of sacrifices, there's a lot of bad things about politics. But she encouraged me. She stood by me and she said, I want you to do this because I know your heart. And that to me was the deciding factor right there. I talked to many family, many friends, everyone said, run, do it, time to fight. And I will tell you right now, I wouldn't have done it if my wife had said, I don't want you to do it. Because it takes a family to make that kind of decision. And it takes a commitment from the entire family. I will say this. I pledged when I ran that I would run a positive and clean campaign. It's unheard of because there's a lot of dirty talk and a lot of mudslinging in politics. But regardless of what was said about me anytime, we took the higher road. My chairwoman, my vice chairman, Keynote, every one of us made that commitment to keep it positive. I want you to remember that. No matter how things get in life, no matter how many times people doubt you, no matter what is said about you, don't worry about it. Don't sweat it. Because if you know yourself and you know your heart, as I said earlier, you will never go wrong. And I will say this. There's a lot of times when people say, you can't do this. It's not possible. I will tell you this. It is always possible. I ran in a field of 17, the biggest precinct, and I was predicted to finish number 18. That was a joke because there's only 7 candidates. But yet I won. And it wasn't because of me. It was because of the wonderful people that stood by me and went house to house. We had a small budget, but we worked hard and we knocked on just about every door we could. So, if any of you are thinking about running for politics, I'm not going to tell you not to do it. In fact, I encourage you to do it. You know why? Because politics is only dirty if you allow it to be dirty. Politics should be one of the cleanest things in life if we allow it to be clean, if we believe in it. And that's one of the things that I challenge you. You are the young minds. You are the future of these islands. I challenge you to get a degree, go off to the military, or whatever you want to do, but I want you to return home and try public service. Now, if you don't want politics, you can always do other things. Volunteerism is the best way to go. If everyone put in 10% of their time, what a great place we would live in. And we do. So with that, I close with this. I am so very grateful to be here today, this evening. You are our future. I know you're going to have a wonderful time tonight, but your parents told me before I close to remind you that your curfew is at 10 p.m. Is that correct? Okay, 9:30. Okay. Thank you. God bless you all, and thank you for having me.